Hello and a very warm welcome to this special interaction. Now, elite sportsmen today, they cannot afford to take their diet lightly because we know the diet is directly connected to their performance on the pitch. And increasingly now, players want to maximize their potential, maximize their performance. And that's where someone who's here with me comes in to do just that. Thank you so much. I have with me Shweta Bhatia. She's a renowned dietitian, a registered dietitian, founder of Mind Your Fitness. And also, if you see her clients, she's got sports persons, cricketers are there. And there's one name that stands out, that is Suryakumar Yadav. She has been instrumental in transforming his fitness and has been part of that journey for Suryakumar Yadav. So Shweta, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time out.
Thanks, Mia.
Okay, let's get straight into it now. What were his concerns, Suryakumar Yadav's, when he came to you, and what was your approach in addressing those concerns? Because here is an elite cricketer who's come to you. It's not just somebody who's, going about his daily life, going to an office. You would have required a sort of specialist kind of an approach for him.
So I think, whenever an athlete comes to you, their primary goal is, they say they want to get fitter. But fitter is very vague because we have to really, align them with the goals of sports nutrition. The first thing is, of course, we have athletes coming with high body fat percent. So we want to reduce that to a fitness zone, which is 12 to 15% is what they should be at. The second most important thing is, of course, that the diet should promote recovery, it should delay fatigue. They have back-to-back games, they have training sessions, they have to be alert and be focused. So the nutrition also plays a huge part in that. And lastly, they should not be hungry often, because if you keep eating during your games or you get hungry and you have low energy levels, then what happens is the meals cause a disturbance in the blood flow. So your blood is supposed to be in your muscles when you're in the game or during an activity. But when you start eating food, it comes back to the digestive system. So that creates a little bit of a chaos there, and we want maximal blood supply to be in the muscles. So we try to reduce the amount of food that athletes consume during the game. So these are a few things that I had to align him with, the ideas, which he should be focusing on, when he signs up.
What goes into his meal? What does he eat in a day? Can you give us a breakdown?
Largely, it was a low-carb diet, and it is a low-carb diet with optimal protein. He usually takes 3 main meals, so we do not recommend eating frequently. Eating every 2 to 3 hours is very unnatural for a human. It does not allow your fat to burn. So you keep 3 main meals, and you try and keep the gaps between the meals. But your meal composition has to be such that you're able to sustain or endure to the next meal, right? Without being hungry and dropping on energy. So that's how the meal composition is planned. But largely, if you had to talk about, and the 3 main meals are, of course, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then we have his intra-training supplementation and his post-workout nutrition that is thrown in between these 3 meals. Largely, I would say that his meal composition would be meat, eggs, dairy products, nuts, vegetables, and of course all the essential fats. So this is what makes up his meals usually.
So what about bread? Everybody wants to know how much bread one needs to eat. Carbs is what people talk about in terms of percentage as well. What is it? Is it protein more, carbs less? So
carbs less, fat proportionately higher. So it's not like his meals will be soaking in, dripping in with oil. It's not like that. Like I said, when you lower the carbs, you increase the fat proportionately, because you can't keep carb and fat both low. Protein is as per the requirements, as per the intensity of the workout and the activity level. So that can never be high or low. If the person's requirements are high, then obviously the protein intake will be matched accordingly, and it will be planned accordingly. But when you keep the carbohydrates down, and of course bread is a carbohydrate, then we proportionately increase the fat. So I think people have this wrong notion about low carb, high fat diets that, you'll be putting loads of butter and ghee and oil in your food. It's not like that.
What were the changes that he felt instantly? I'm sure he told you about them. What were the changes?
Right. So I think the first and the most important thing is his energy levels, where he did not feel the dips. Initially, he used to talk about feeling, these episodes of having some lethargy before he signed up with me. But I think the first thing that we took care of is the energy levels, where there is a stable, level throughout the day. even after he finishes his games and things like that, he's good to go. It's not like he's dropped or he's sort of, he has to immediately sleep. Nothing like that. I think that is the first most important thing that we saw an improvement in. Second was recovery. So a few things that he told me is that he feels very refreshed in the morning when he wakes up. So he's always ready to go. There's no tiredness or fatigue that he felt, for the next day. And he was always ready for the next session and the next game. And I think his ability to endure multiple training sessions and back-to-back games, because they kept traveling all of last year. If you see the schedules, there were just continuous games being played. And it's like, it's just not the games, right? They're also training in between that. And sometimes there are 2 sessions a day. So the ability to sort of maintain that workout intensity and play a game and be refreshed the next day to go back on the field and perform again, I think that's what we achieved.
Thank you so much, Shweta Bhatia, for taking the time out, and for everybody who is watching this, go check out her Instagram as well. She's a serious lifter. I've seen her do weights, and you put out those videos, very inspiring for women. They can go out there. There's also this misconception women shouldn't lift, which you're busting. So thank you so much, and thanks for busting some of those myths for us.
Thanks for having me, Maya.